Time to fight the Mekkatorque again, guys. I released a video already using an Ice Blast team, showing its full potential. This time around, we're going to go with the opposite element and we're going to bring in the fire. We're going to bring in the burn and see how effective it is against this boss. Of course, I do want to try something else in today's video, guys, and that is Mr. Aumar versus the endgame boss. Now, I do have the legendary artifact for him as well, and I just went the extra mile today. I've done a few more summons just to get the hero as well, and in the end I will go for the dice skin too, because yeah, why not? I'm pretty close to it now. But talking about the Mekkatorque, if you're not familiar with the kit, guys, he is a pretty challenging boss. He has quite a few tricks up his sleeve. He will summon a few rockets, minion, orbs, however you guys want to call them, on the right side right here, and the main trick is to bring in a lot of debuffs. That's exactly what I'm going to show you in today's video. Now, I don't have the most OP burn characters in the game, but what I will be doing is showing you a strategy that will bring in as many debuffs as possible to make up for the loss of burn, okay? Because we don't have enough burn. Now, if we are talking about wild heroes, they're really not very effective in here because you need to have some AoE damage. So the team that we are running in today's video, guys, is going to be this one right here. Now I have, of course, Durem, I have Mr. Aumar, I have Lilo, I have Zarlot, and I have Dane. These heroes all together, they bring exactly 9 debuffs, which will increase my damage by 90%. You've heard that right, 90%. Comparing it with the Ice Blast, where we had 30% because we only had 3 debuffs. This is kind of taking it to the next level. In terms of builds, this is what I have on them, guys. I have the Elminster artifact on Elminster, of course, with the Moonlight set. I have Lilo with the Crown of the Unclean. That's an extra debuff next to the burn. Then I have Zarlot with the Witch's Remains. I have Dane. He has the Incense Burner just to roll up his skills a bit more often. But honestly, I feel like something that would give him damage would be better overall, especially if I have enough accuracy on him. Then Durem, he is with the Eyeball of the Giant. Now we have one debuff from Lilo or Durem, which is the burn. Then I have 2 different debuffs from Elminster, which will be the decrease attack, and we have, of course, the decrease accuracy. Then we have Zarlot with recharge speed penalty and with the fear. And then I have Dane with decrease attack, heal reduction, and Lilo has as well the Crown of the Unclean. And we have the Witch's Remains, which makes a total of 9 debuffs. Now, if you're not familiar exactly with what I'm talking about, this boss has this particular passive skill. For each debuff that the hero is inflicted with, gains 1 stack of misstep for an unlimited duration. Let me just move my big head so you guys can actually see it better. Now, I've actually pre-recorded the run, guys, because the trick with this is that I need to manual the ultimates. If no, I'm not going to cover the entire area, but I'm going to explain you everything that you need to know while we are doing the run. And this is reaching maximum damage, over 200 million, okay? So if you are looking to step up your damage, guys, take some notes because we are going to dive into a pretty good run. Now, from the very start, I'm going to let them go on Oro directly because I want them to use the ultimates. I want them to use all the skills on the boss to make sure that they are landing the right debuff on them. So we are on him. So we are actually stacking up this right here. How you may notice at the top right corner. We are at 6 debuffs right now, but we want to get even more. Now, having fear from Zarlot, it will benefit us as well to have damage reduction when the boss is actually hitting us. That's another thing that can happen, you know, and that is a 30% damage reduction, which is very helpful. So right now we are still stacking up. We are at 8. I'm missing a debuff. I'm not sure 100% sure what exactly I'm missing. It might be either the Crown of the Unclean, it might be the Witch's Remains, it might be the heal reduction from Dane. Most probably that might be it, or the small version of attack down, or the big version of attack down. Something is missing there, and I'm not sure just yet what exactly. Or maybe the fear from Zarlot, actually. Most probably that's what was missing as the 9th debuff. As soon as I'm stacking that, guys, I move over into manual mode. The reason for it, I want to make sure I'm maximizing the damage from all of these heroes. You'll be in for a surprise because a lot of these heroes actually deal real good damage. Especially Zarlot, you'll be very impressed with the damage from Zarlot, actually. I think the fear was missing here as the 90 debuff. Sometimes you might have better RNG and stack up to 9 debuffs much faster than I did it right now, you see. And if you do that from the very beginning, you're actually going to be smashing in way more damage than I did this time around, you know. So, because we have a diamond shape on most of the ultimate skills, we are not going to hit the bottom corner orb, ball, rocket, however you guys want to call them, and I need to manual all of the skills. I need to manual when Zarlot is using the ultimate, he will put the defense down, the big version, on all of them, and then of course I need to make sure that I'm getting the healing at the right moment. So how you may notice, we are 2 minutes in with over 40 million damage. Now the damage will just go higher and higher because we stacked those 9 debuffs. That's the trick with this team, okay? Not only having Burn, not only having Elminster Aumar with the artifact to help us and survive and bring in the decreased attack and the debuffs, but of course, having those debuffs is key in order to get this crazy damage. You won't be doing it without having the 9 debuffs, okay? Let me just put it out there from the very beginning. That's why I decided to use Dane. Not only that he deals good damage, but he brings me 3 debuffs, which is 30% extra damage on top of the damage that he already deals, you know? I could have brought in another Burn hero, maybe a Percival, maybe a Biggs, the rare heroes, right? And still ramp up good damage, but I wanted to hit over 200 million, and this is the trick that allowed me to get over 200 million damage, okay? So how you may notice, I'm using Zarlot's skill first, not only to put the defense down, but just to make sure I'm quickly getting some healing back, while Elminster is putting that shield on us, which is absolutely amazing. It's a very good carry to have that with a decreased attack from him, because I don't need to bother to use an Adolphus or something else in here, so for this type of content, Elminster is going to be top notch. Then, of course, Dane will go straight after just to bring in some damage. I'm usually trying to wait a bit for Duram to use the battle skill and throw some burns at the orbs in here, but not all the time. He's not doing it all the time, so I'm going in using the ultimate, and then, of course, I have to wait with Lilo just a little bit longer to make sure that I have a burn on and I detonate them, because the epic hero with his ultimate will detonate the burns, guys, okay? And that will increase the damage even more. Look at that. We jumped in damage so much. We are already at 87 million damage in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're just ramping up the damage more and more and more now, which is actually really impressive, seeing it that I can do it without Karf. I have clanmates that they managed to reach 200 million with Karf, with Ascatius, but I don't have them, you know? So I was like, okay, I gotta find a different way around, and the best way around it was bring in as many debuffs as possible. Let's bring in as much damage like that, you know? And I wanted to use Arasis, honestly. I do think that I might be able to reach the 200 million with him as well instead of Duram, most probably, and constantly detonate the burns on the boss. The only problem is that Arasis has a diamond area too, and that is around him. So because he's not moving, he's not going to detonate burns on everybody, you know? And I don't really have burns on everybody. Like, burns, even though they should be the main source of damage for me, I just don't have enough heroes in here, heroes powerful enough to constantly put burns on the side minions. I do have them on the boss, which is great, but how you may notice, as soon as the rockets, projectiles, or whatever they're called, drop in here, I tend to don't have burn most of the time on them. You will notice when I have burn, when Lilo uses the ultimate like now, just watch it, and then you're gonna see a lot of small numbers just spraying around. You see like that with orange. That's when burn actually procs on the enemies. The good thing is that if you have burn on a few of them next to each other, they will spread the damage, which is good, right? So that increases the damage. That's why it's good to use burn against enemies that have multi targets. But there we go. They are doing a pretty good job. I ran this on manual, okay? On auto, sorry. I ran it on auto a few times, and the problem that I was having, even though I created pretty much the same sort of preset to run this team as I'm running it right now, my heroes were dying, man. So I was always losing somebody when was having like 2-3 minutes left, you know? And I was like, how the hell are they dying? They're not squishy. They're not extremely tanky either. I have that massive shield from Elminster in there, so something must be going on wrong. So I decided to just manual the entire run with all of the heroes, put decrease attack usually when we are going close to the last two skills, and yeah, move on from there. It worked for me like that, you know. Maybe you're gonna want to prioritize different skills, skills on the boss, and when to land the decrease attack. But for me, it worked just perfectly on this team, you know. How you may notice, the damage from Dane, from Lilo is nothing too crazy. Dane does have 24 million damage. Lilo has 21. But if you're looking at Duram, 65 million. If you are looking at Zarlot, 45 million. So that's very, very solid damage, you know. And the way you're doing it is by timing your ultimates as well and making sure you're always using the ultimates on the orbs, never on the boss. Because hitting the boss will barely give you any damage with the AoEs. The boss will get hit plenty of times by battle skills, by basic skills. You don't have to worry about that. When it's about ultimates, always use them on the orbs, you know. So we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. We reached 177 million damage already. So the faster you stack the 9 debuffs on the boss to actually get the extra 90% damage, which is crazy damage, it's almost double, right? The more damage you'll be stacking earlier. So you could potentially reach 210 million damage if you have a good run. After 200 million, the damage that you're dropping on the enemy will be reduced by 90% if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't matter whatever buffs you have, debuffs on him or whatever, the damage gets reduced. So you won't be able to throw in such big numbers anymore. So you're going to be able to notice it in a second, because as soon as we hit the 200 million, is pretty much game over. You know, I'm even letting it go on auto because there's no point to stress about it anymore. I'm just not getting it. And right there, seems like I missed the orbs with the ultimate from Lilo. That would have been probably a couple of extra million. But there we go, 200 million damage, guys. Elminster for the carry, of course. Burn for the win. And the main thing in here, the debuffs. That's the trick. That's the trick that will allow you to deal crazy, stupid damage. And this, of course, will provide you with better rewards. And this, at the end of the season, will put you in a better position on the leaderboard. Elminster as well, he could potentially deal some damage with his ultimate skill on the orbs if I would build him to do damage. But I really did not intend to build Elminster for damage. So I decided just to go in full support and gain a massive shield on him. But check this out. Check this out. So we survived the entire duration. 201 million damage. Pretty damn good. We have Duram with 40%, 82 million. Then you have Elminster with 4.4 as well. You have Lilo with 2.6 million. 26 million, sorry. Then you have Zarlot with 57. And you have Dane with 31 million damage. Let me just quickly show you the build on them. So this is my Duram right here, guys. Total stats on him. We have 41k HP, almost 1.7k defense, 4.8k attack, 89 crit rate, 134 crit damage, 193 accuracy. I want to put accuracy on him because of the battle skill. So I need to land some burns with somebody, and he's the best option. I don't have him fully scrolled, but he's close to it. I need 2 more scrolls in him, and honestly, 0 regrets for investing them in him, because I was literally debating today. I had 15 scrolls. I threw some in Elminster, and then I was like, okay, should I use them on Duram or should I use them on somebody else, you know? But was definitely worth it. Then I have Elminster Aumar. Of course, he's built on a Moonlight set, guys. 84k HP, 1.6k defense, 454 enlightenment. That's the key to a big shield. A lot of enlightenment. And of course, the artifact helps a lot. Then I have a 219 accuracy. And I have 33 skill haste. The skill haste helps a lot as well with the battle skill and just in general with the ultimate too. Moonlight will give us some healing. if you guys are not familiar with the artifact just yet, is increasing the duration of the shield and the value of the shield, which is very, very important. Then moving over to the next champion, Lyle, not Lilo. I called him Lilo the entire video, but his name is Lyle, guys. So we have 43k HP, 1.6k defense, 3.2k attack, 95 crit rate, 114 crit damage, 227 accuracy. And I have the Crown of the Unclean. This will count as an extra debuff, guys. That's why it's so important to use it. Then we have Zarlot. Zarlot is with the Witch's Remains on the Inventor set as well. Total stats, 45k HP, 1.6k defense, 3.9k attack, 90 crit rate, 161 crit damage, 248 accuracy. Zarlot, a beast. You've seen the damage is absolutely insane. Then we have one more hero, right? I actually forgot who we had, and that was Dane. He's hiding somewhere at level 99 probably. That's why I can't spot him. There we go. So he is on a serial set. Whenever he lands a debuff, my team gains increased attack. That's very important to have in there as well. Now, the reason why I brought Dane over another burn hero, guys, let me just put it out there for you. We have Healing Prohibition. He has the chance to put Fear as well next to Zarlot's Fear too. So these are all extra debuffs that will, of course, increase the stacks for damage. Then we have the small version of attack penalty next to the big version. So the small version of a debuff and the big version of the same debuff will count as two different debuffs. Okay, keep that in mind. Very important to acknowledge that. Total stats, 48k HP, 1.2k defense, 3.9k attack, 81 crit rate, 138 crit damage, 207 accuracy. And honestly, I think the Incense Burner can be replaced by anything that will give you damage. Maybe the Arcane Music Box. As long as you can get the accuracy, you know? As long as you can get the accuracy on him, you can definitely get something else. But that was all for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what teams are you running so far, how are your teams performing, and if you want to join Dungeons and Dragons Legends in Dragonheir, guys, you can download the game by clicking the link in the description down below. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.